I tried to play Tiger UHT again, even after the last couple of updates, and this helicopter still does not perform very well. Nothing has changed. So recently there's been an update, and I thank Ruby Fox for pointing this out to me. Thank you. The Tiger UHT just received an update where you can switch your AA missiles for more Pars missiles, which are fire and forget missiles. Previously, this used to have only 8. Now you can bring 2 additional ones on each end, and you now have a total of 12, which at top tier is very important. So you want to have as many as you can get. And the Pars missile is right here. Has 7-kilometer launch range, very nice. Maximum speed 0.9, and 3.7 kilograms of TNT. Armor penetrations are not great, but if you look at the cumulative jet, 1000 millimeters. Not too bad, right? Missile is not too bad at all. Plus, it's a fire and forget missile, so on paper, it sounds like this is a decent helicopter. But in reality, every time I played this helicopter, it's been a disappointment. For some reason, these missiles just do not work the way that I feel like they should work. You should be able to hit the targets, they should get destroyed, and you should be able to stay out of danger by repositioning yourself, right? But every time I bring this helicopter into battle, every time I decide to spend some time on it and play around with this thing, it just does not perform well. And there's several reasons for that. And it's just been disappointing to see that it seems to me that it's always been this way. Even when the used to be the only helicopter in the game for many years that had fire and forget missile. It was the only one. No other nation had it. This was the only helicopter available. Fast forward to today, and we have all these nations, pretty much all of them, have a fire and forget missile that's very effective, especially USA. Where are we? Okay, somewhere. Especially USA, Russia. We have Japan, we have China, we have France. France is another topic. But China, for me, recently has been very good. Especially with this helicopter right here. Very good, very nice. Germany, it's not sitting at the top of the ladder. If you look at the BR ratings, it's at 12.7. So it's not at 13.0 like its counterparts. Okay? So we're gonna give it a little bit of a break just for being lower than 13.0. Which in reality doesn't really matter, because if you're at 12.7, you are going to be dragged into 13.0 games anyway. But still, the point is made that at least it's not the top dog. With the Pars missiles, on paper, it travels very fast. It has really strong pen. But a lot of times, it just does not hit the targets. Or when it hits the targets, it basically scratches them. It hits some kind of armor piece, or it hits the machine gun, or a track, and never where it needs to hit, which is directly at the cupola, directly into the center mass, something significant. It just doesn't work. Another thing to consider when looking at this helicopter is the machine itself, the engine. Let's look at it. It's 1285 horsepower. And let's compare that to, say, let's go with China again. 1600 of horsepower, right? And compare that to 1285. So quite a noticeable difference. So it's much slower. So when you fly, let me just look at the stats here really quick. So the rate of climb is 10.5 with the current layout. 10.5 meters a second. Let's look at China. 12 meters a second with this layout. It can carry 8 plus 4, so it carries 12. Same amount of missiles, plus 4 AA missiles, plus it has a gun, and it has, yeah, everything else is pretty much the same. But those are the differences. So the rate of rise is 12 meters, 10.5 meters a second. Not a big deal, right? It's not that much, but you really feel it in the game. You really feel just how much it struggles to get a lift on. And it matters in the game because, like, when you go to actually use this in the battle, you need to lift yourself up pretty fast and to go down very fast. And with this helicopter, it takes forever to go up, to finally peek above the ridge, to peek above the mountain, to kind of see what's going on. It's a little heavy, and the engine's underpowered to really perform really well. Also, as I mentioned, there's no gun at 12.7. There is no gun. And to be at the top level helicopter, you need it. Even comparing that to the Chinese 20 millimeter, it's not the best gun in the game. There's other helicopters that have something better, but at least it's a 20 millimeter that can do something. With Germany, you have 0. You have no gun whatsoever. And let me just take a look at France for a moment, just really briefly. It's the same helicopter, and this one comes with a gun. What is Germany's problem with guns on helicopters? I don't know. Maybe it's the game design, maybe it's something else, but the gun is missing. There's no gun for you. And you have an option of bringing AA missiles. That looks like this. But then you lose 4 Pars missiles. So you're only left with 8. And I have to say that to have only 8 missiles on a helicopter that does not know how to hit the target, that's very... So you need as many missiles as you can carry. So, which is why I choose to go with this layout. I'm taking all the Pars with me because we need them in the game. And speaking of AA missiles, this is what you get. You get AIM 92. And I have to really kind of look and see, compare these missiles to each other to see exactly why they don't perform so well. But in terms of experience, these missiles are very bad. They're highly unreliable. Most of the times they don't hit the targets. And to be honest, if I have a choice between bringing these AA missiles or bringing Pars missiles, this is what I'm going with. And that's what I've been trying to use, because Pars missiles are not effective on their own as it is. So having at least 4 more available to you, so you can stay in the battle longer, so you can hit additional targets, is much needed for this helicopter. But in terms of AA missiles, very bad. So now we have no gun, we have no AA missile option because we need the Pars, and the Pars don't work. And the helicopter is very heavy to lift itself. So it's just all around negatives for a 12.7 helicopter for me. It's missing a lot of key components. It doesn't perform the way it should perform compared to the other helicopters. And it's very disappointing. And I've had this experience with this helicopter the entire time. Ever since I got it from day one, this was years ago. And even seeing these changes now with additional Pars missiles available, it still does not perform. It's a helicopter that I think everybody wants to research, especially in the old days, because it was the only one with fire and forget missiles. It was such a unique helicopter, but even back then, I've always had trouble with this helicopter. It just doesn't know how to hit the target. So let's jump in, take a quick look at a few games, and come back with a conclusion at the end. I had to fire off that one missile that was already locked on because I can't change it. And I cannot lock on this automatic. I can see him, but I can't do anything with him. Okay, got the hit on the British. Okay, I got the automatic, even though it looked like I wasn't able to lock him. Yeah, that AA missile didn't do anything, unfortunately. Okay, we have a person right here. One shot and then straight down to get away from danger. Looks like they're capping our point. Off goes the missile. Now I have to return back to the airfield.
Heading to the base.
Very nice.
Well done.
Round 2.
Defend the B point.
Back in the game. Looks like we have some kind of air target here. The flares seem to be working. Okay, got the second hit. Z-19E, the premium. Okay, sending them. I see 2 targets. Looks like the Panzer S1 is back, so I have to stay low. Okay, I got one of the 2. Better than nothing. I see him over there behind the cover. I got the hit, but no death. Got another hit. Still alive. Missile out. I go back. I got that one.
100 meters.
Okay, back in the game after replenishment. I see a target. Missile out. This is a very difficult map for helicopters. One of the harder maps to play. Okay, got another AA system. And looks like Panzer is still alive. I can't really see very well. My tracking system does the job for me. There goes the missile. Another connect, but he's still. I'm taking my chance here, going up high. Normally that would get you killed. But I need to defend the B point and I can't see anything, staying too low. I see a couple of targets. Okay, I got the track, got the turret. Totally missed that shot. One missile left. Last missile outgoing. Close game. Okay, got that guy. Now have to come back and we lose the game. And sometimes that happens. Okay, we have a wheelie boy. We have a camping Abrams. I'm trying to get a secondary missile out, but I can't lock him, even though he's in wide open position. There he goes. And this happens a lot with the fire and forget type of armaments. A lot of times you can see the target directly, and you know where you want the missile to go, but you can't fire it because you rely on the tracking system to do that for you. Abrams still alive, still camping his spot.
Attention to the left.
Okay, got the RFD or RDF. The lightweight targets. Okay, I'm trying to lock that guy. I can't do it either. And he just fired at me with a laser rangefinder. Luckily I was able to survive, but I tipped my helicopter over. Whoopsie daisy. And one more. But everything worked out. I was still able to fix myself and get back into the battle. Okay, you see how the tracker is kind of playing around, doesn't know where to go? Sometimes it makes it difficult. I wish there was a way to actually tell the missile to go and then find the target later. Okay, this one I can lock. I can actually see it. Okay. Got that one. Okay, we have a few targets here. But looks like a couple of them are hidden behind some coverage. I think I saw 4 targets and I fired off at least 4 missiles. I got one.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
And looks like that's all I can get. A couple more here. Okay, got one. And my missile was shut down. Okay, I have nothing to defend myself with in this layout. I have only parse missiles. Again, I have no gun. I have no AA missiles. I am completely helpless. All I'm trying to do here is try to hide away so that he doesn't find me. But you still have to be very careful because you can still hit objects on the ground. Even though I was pressing the brakes. There he is. The only thing I can do is fire off parse missiles. That's all I have. And because he's flying so low and so slow, my missiles may actually work. Okay, he goes up high, which is gonna slow him down even more. Okay, I'm shooting my missile out. Hopefully it does something. I mean, he's pretty slow. And sure enough, my missile makes a connection. That's one of the very rare instances where that can happen, but that's more on him because he chose to fly like that. If he was to fly like a normal person and actually travel fast, I wouldn't be able to do that with the Pars missile. They're too slow. Okay, I got one T-80. The BMP-T is still alive and well. Okay, I see one going A. There's the BMP. Couple of missiles for him. No connections. Okay, I see one over here. Now I decided to actually pay attention to see exactly how the missile is traveling. Okay, direct contact, but I could only get the ring. Here comes the second one. Okay, I got one barrel. But again, he was able to survive my shots. And here I am trying to lock onto it, but it didn't work. Even though he was wide open and I could see him very well. Okay, I'm getting shot. And that's kind of the way things go. This map is not the greatest. Very difficult to fight with the anti-air systems. They can see you very far. Okay, we got a couple here. There's another one. T-90 looks like. A couple missiles outgoing. Okay, we got him. The second guy got hit, but still alive. I'm gonna send off my last missile here, and hopefully can finish the job. Okay, we survived that. Oh, we have a camper. Again, I'm trying to get a lock, and it just doesn't want to do that for me. And this happens very often. Okay, I got the hit, but not even close to killing him. I got the assist. Here's another example. Here's a helicopter with a big side view, not too far away, only 3.7 kilometers away. I fired off 2 missiles, and he's just kind of going at it, right? And I don't know what's going on. I fire off another one. Should be able to get him pretty quickly. Now I'm being watched by the anti-air system. Where is my missile? Still nothing. Now the helicopter is leaving. I can't use my anti-air because he has an RCM system. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire off my last Pars. And I have to go back to my airfield. Nothing happens. Those missiles never hit the target. I don't know what happened to them. Looks like I have some bad lag there on the recording. Apologies for that. Okay, I have a fancy system. I fired off a missile. Okay, missed. Okay, hit. And again, survived. I showed off a couple more. Somehow he survived. Even though he's made of paper. Okay, we got that. We have a tank over here. I'm gonna send off a couple at him. Usually do. Okay, there's an anti-air system right here. Radar. Okay, he got me. That was kind of a revenge moment there. I see a tank, I'm firing off two. Another one. Two more. Another target. Two more. And the last one. Okay, 8 missiles out. I've unloaded everything I got. I got one. Got a hit. Okay, I got the gun. And that's all I could get with 8 missiles. So now that I've replenished myself, I got myself some extra ones. Let's see what else we can do. But one tank missiles, that's the ratio. It doesn't sound very good to me. I'm just repositioning myself to get a better view. Okay, I see this tank. Okay, couple of missiles outgoing. Okay, I got the barrel. He's under covers. And I had no warning whatsoever that I was being lasered.
200.
Okay.
Attention to the map.
Looks like a leopard. Tanks get 2. That's my rule. Okay, I got him. Oh, it's a Type 90. Looks like a leopard. Looks like we have a camper over here. Looks like a T-80 or a T-90.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
A couple of direct hits, but no go. Looks like a Terminator over here. Okay, I was in a bad position actually. I wasn't facing the right way. Okay, got a couple of connections. I only got 1 crew. There he is again. 2 more for him. Okay, still alive. And nothing. Even though he was so close, I didn't get any hits. Okay. Let's see if we can get some hits with this one. Got the Terminator. Finally. Okay, we have somebody else. Okay. Okay. Missiles outgoing. Okay, back to cover. and hope for the best. Okay, we got the Bradley. And something else is over there. It looks like a swan on the radar, so I don't want to be playing around with this thing. Again, trying to lock. Finally got the lock. Got the second lock. Third lock. But the first nothing happened. It's just not very reliable sometimes. Okay, looks like our team is already spawn camping, so we're not gonna get too much done at this point. So that's the performance of Tiger UHT in the game. As you can see, nothing impressive. Nothing that stood out to me as very good. I'm not sure if the game is designed properly, if maybe it's missing some of the key components, or it just needs some tweaks in the game to make it work the way it's supposed to be working, but it feels to me like it's the same helicopter that I've always had. Nothing's changed, other than having additional parts, but they do not perform well enough to even notice. So it's a helicopter that really does not have a really high value in my eyes. I've always said that I've always felt that this was kind of an overrated helicopter for me, and there's much better helicopters available in the game that I would rather play and actually enjoy playing, whereas this one has just always been kind of painful and disappointing. Anyways, that's the Tiger UHT for today. Let me know your thoughts, and if you have any other experiences that are different than mine. Thanks for watching. See you next time.